punching gloves, one of my favorite items in the game. What do? They give 8% of the enemy HP as physical damage to the wielder, making so even the weakest Pokémons in your team become one of your best damage dealers. Who should wield the punching gloves? The unit that you want to give the gloves is the unit that will last the longest in the battlefield. The unit that will die always at last. The gloves involve increasing your DPS or damage per second, so you want to give it to the unit that will survive the longest seconds in the battle. That usually involves units with more than one range. You want to avoid using your punching gloves in your front line. Your front line should be made out of tanks, not damage dealers, and even less damage dealers that deal a slow amount of damage. The punching gloves are made for your back row, for your mid row, for units with 2 or more range. So when do you want to use the punching gloves? Usually in the early game, when the fights are slower and the abilities are weaker. And finally, which teams want to use the punching gloves? Teams with good attack speed, teams like Field, Amorphous, Dragons, or Electric with the triple hits. Teams with great survivability, with great defense, that makes the fights last longer. Teams like Ice, Rock, Grass, Human, Fighting, Bug, also normal. And finally, but not less relevant, Steel. Steel really likes to use the punching gloves, since they can turn the physical damage to true damage, making the 8% buff of the punching gloves into true damage. So the next time you see Marib, think it twice, because in Field Electric, he becomes the best punching gloves user in the game, besides Steel, and he can deal a very good amount of damage.